Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For this crazy rerun guide for Ruan Mei, I'll be giving you her best relics, light cones, team comp, rotations, pros and cons, and whether you should pull for her. Do you have a character or light cone in the game that you really want, but you don't have enough StellarJades? Fortunately, lootbar.gg allows you to buy StellarJades at a discounted rate for all regions. Lootbar is one of the fastest and most reliable recharging platform with attractive discount rates. For an example, I will buy the 1980 StellarJade package for $26.40, which otherwise would have cost me $29.99, saving me a total of 20%, and also new users get an additional 5% off. To purchase, simply enter your UID and region and to receive your package in less than 30 minutes. All recharges are done through the official channel with miHoYo, which allows you to enjoy all top-up offers. Now you will be ready to get your favorite characters. Check the link in the description and pinned comment to get the amazing discounts. For an overview of her kit, Ruan Mei provides speed boosts, increases break effect, weakness break efficiency, extends weakness break duration, all-type penetration and damage boosts for all allies. She can be used in both single or dual DPS carry setups, making her a highly versatile support. Eidolons, for her E1, when her ultimate field is deployed, allies ignore 20% of the target's defense. This gives 11.7% DPS boost for your team, which will scale slightly higher if your other units can ignore defense too. Her E2 increases allies' attack by 40% when they are dealing damage to enemies with weakness break. Her E4 increases her break effect by 100% for 3 turns, which is not needed at all unless you have her E6. Her E6 increases her ultimate duration by 1 turn and increases her talent break damage multiplier. This gives you a permanent ultimate uptime for a 3-turn ultimate rotation for Ruan Mei. Best price to performance ratio for F2P players, Ruan Mei Eidolons aren't game-changing unless E6. E1 and S1 both offer equal performance, however, for break teams, E1 is preferred, while for standard crit or DOT teams, S1 is better if you need that extra skill point. Prioritize pulling for your DPS Eidolons or signature light cone instead, unless Ruan Mei is always in your lineup. How to build Ruan Mei. For the body, preferably defensive stats, but any main stats are fine if they have more break and speed substat, which is more important for Ruan Mei. For the boots, speed only. Substat priority. 180% break effect including buffs and her trace which only shows in battle. After that, focus on hitting your desired speed breakpoints and defensive stats only as spare stats. How much break effect for Ruan Mei? You don't need more than 180% break effect as it doesn't do much unless you're satisfied with your desired speed breakpoint. Only then more break effect is fine. Unless you have an E6 Ruan Mei, focus on lower speed breakpoints with more break. Or if you're running non-crit break units like Firefly, then getting lower break effect is fine as damage boost won't increase break damage. Now which speed breakpoint for Ruan Mei? It's recommended to go for at least 134 speed and the above breakpoints that I have listed as the extra skill point is more beneficial and has slightly faster ultimate uptime for your units for longer fights, which is ideal for the majority of players. 120 speed with Vanwak is only better for 0-cycle clear players to stack as much break effect but will generate lesser skill points which is not ideal for longer fights. Onto her Relic Set. Any 2+2 sets will allow you to have an easier time to hit your desired stats for Ruan Mei. Going for rainbow sets is also viable as hitting over the recommended stats on Ruan Mei barely increases your team's DPS. But it's way harder to pull off due to Watchmaker and Thief giving 32% break effect, which equals to 6.27 substat rolls. Which is a lot where it's near impossible to hit hyperspeed Ruan Mei without set bonuses. Do note that 4-piece messenger is useless. Overall, it all comes down to your luck for the substats where even rainbow sets can perform better, but make sure to farm for the set that is more universal for your account. And now for the planar ornament main stat. For the rope, you want energy regen over break effect, even if you can't hit 3-turn ultimate uptime. For the orb, it doesn't really matter. Go for any main stats with the highest break effect or speed from the substats, as it's everything to Ruan Mei but defensive stats are nice. For her planar ornament set, Penacony or Vanwak would be her best in slot due to the 5% energy regen bonus. With Vanwak, try to hit higher speed breakpoints as it will give you more skill points. Both sets will give you 3-turn guaranteed ulti uptime on 2s5 light cones. which gives the highest DPS, but both sets aren't energy efficient to farm for. Personally, I prefer Fleet of the Ageless or Broken Keel as they're more energy efficient to farm for, but it will require Ruan Mei to get hit or steal kill to get her ultimate up in 3 turns. But it's not that important, even if you miss a 1-turn ultimate. But a well-built limited F2P 5-star team. You will clear Mach within 2 cycles for the first half and 4 cycles at most for the second half regardless. Banditry's 36% break effect is not that bad, but it wouldn't have any difference from slapping a rainbow set. After all, Banditry is the worst performing set and it isn't energy efficient for your account. Personally, I have this rainbow set slapped on for Ruan Mei. In short, players should just slap on whichever is easier for them to get the highest speed and break effect breakpoints unless you're a min-maxer. Go for Penacony or Vonwak. But it may or may not help you to clear 1 cycle faster compared to rainbow sets. Now for Ruan Mei's light cones, I'll start from the worst to best. At second place, we have both Memories of the Past and Meshing Cogs at S5. But first, if you're running Huo, you can ignore the energy section and just slap on S1 Memories with EER Rope for 3-turn ulti uptime on Ruan Mei. Back on track, 3-turn ulti guaranteed uptime. Only matters if you do not want to rely on RNG for Ruan Mei 10 energy regen break steal kill. Or 5 energy regen on hit, as it's near to impossible to not get hit within 3 turns at late game MOC stages. One issue with Meshing Cogs is that hitting 180% break effect with an energy regen rope plus 5% regen set is insanely hard for hyperspeed Ruan Mei unless you have triple S tier relics, which is not possible for most players. An easier option for 180% break effect with Cogs is to pair Ruan Mei with Harmony MC. My advice with Meshing Cogs is to not build 156 or 160 speed Ruan Mei. Unless you're playing Firefly, then break effect on Ruan Mei barely matters, but make sure to still get as much break effect as possible. Memories of the Past allows hyperspeed due to the break effect even at S1, which helps a lot. Personally, I would just run an S1 copy instead of Meshing Cogs to hit hyperspeed even with 119.4% energy regen, as I prefer having more skill points and I hate farming for the 5% energy regen set bonuses. But if I'm playing Firefly, I would slap on Meshing Cogs instead. In short, it comes down to your team comp or preference. At the first place, it's both her Sig LC and Dance S5. Dance S5 is a must for Firefly or hyperspeed teams for 0 cycle clears even with lower ultimate uptime, which is actually better than her own signature light cone, but it's way more restrictive. Harder to use and actually more expensive than pulling for her Sig LC. For break teams, you want her Sig LC on Harmony MC, which is way better. So for players who got lucky and got double Sig LC in 10 pulls, don't S2 it. An S1 versus S2 copy will not make any difference. Overall, Ruan Mei's signature light cone doesn't have a 100% ultimate uptime, but it's fine as the damage boost is still higher than the 1-turn ulti downtime. Plus that extra skill point is nice to have for dual DPS teams. Players should just slap on the best light cone they have for Ruan Mei, as it wouldn't make a huge differences. For her team comp and rotations, for her best setups, it would be with Bronya with boothill. Harmony MC for break units that don't have inbuilt break multipliers with Gallagher. But only with Firefly. Ruan Mei can go below 180% break effect. The damage boost barely increases Firefly DPS, where getting that 3-turn ultimate uptime is better. Though it may or may not help you clear 1 cycle faster. For her single hyper carry setup, you only want her as a secondary support unit with Bronya or Sparkle, as Ruan Mei is in a single target focused buffer. If she's paired with a 4-star unit, you can expect way lower DPS, which equals to longer MOC runs. For her dual DPS setup, she still works insanely well for FUA teams, but you get 1 minimum longer cycle clear compared to Robin. Kafka is actually fine with 134 speed instead of hyperspeed if your team is well built enough to finish off enemies within 2 to 3 cycles. Ruan Mei is slightly weaker compared to Robin, but will have the same amount of cycle clears unless you have Eidolons or signature light cones on your DPS units. Then Robin may get that 1 cycle faster clear time. For Ruan Mei pros and cons. Pros, triple S tier. Easy to use and autoplay friendly. Most universal support. Works great for most single or dual DPS setups. Skill point positive. Best support for break DPS. On par with Robin for most setups outside of break teams. Increases your team survivability from delay break. Permanent team-wide speed buff to easily hit hyperspeed on your units. Cons. Slightly lesser value for single non-break hyper carry as 4-star harmony units are just slightly weaker. Robin or future harmony units will perform slightly better for certain team comps. In summary, should you pull for Ruan Mei? If you like break teams? It's a must. If you don't have any limited 5-star harmony unit yet? Yes. But make sure you pull units that can make full use of her max potential. If you have a DOT team but no Robin? Yes. If you have Robin but you're not playing break DPS setups? No. Overall for her ranking, I would give her a 9.5 out of 10, but she isn't a must-have unless you're running break teams or don't have Robin for dot setups. Let me know your thoughts down below about Ruan Mei and if you're pulling for her. And that's it for this guide.